Hey guys, welcome to Tokyo Creative Talk, where we bring you the latest news and hot topics from Japan. I'm your host, Shizuka Anderson. Today, we're going to be talking about a brand new restaurant in Asakusa that specializes entirely in miso soup. So it was started by this guy named Soun Takeda, who's a famous Japanese calligrapher in Japan. And he started this company, I guess, called Team Chikyu, which means Team Earth. And the whole purpose is to try to spread the word about healthy food and spread healthy food culture around the world. And they opened this store in Asakusa called Misoju. And everything you get there is miso soup, basically. But they have a lot of different kinds. So they actually range from like European style miso soup, which is kind of new. Like they kind of mix it's kind of a fusion. So for example, there's a potofu miso soup. But all the ingredients in these soups are organic. They're made of organic vegetables, so they're intended to be super, super healthy. Besides miso soup though, they also have a variety of other foods that you can enjoy, such as rice balls like salmon and plum, Japanese plum rice balls, and fried chicken called karaage in Japanese, as well as spinach with like sesame sauce. It's kind of a healthy, sort of traditional Japanese food, and braised eggs. Various other very healthy foods. So if you're looking for a really healthy lunch, it's quite affordable, around like 800 yen for a bowl of piping hot miso soup. So make sure to make your way over to Asakusa to get yourself that healthy lunch or dinner. The Japanese train line is arguably one of the best in the world, but it doesn't mean that there aren't occasionally some problems that occur. Recently, on a Japanese bullet train line called the Tohoku Shinkansen line, or Tohoku bullet train, the train was actually delayed for about 5 hours due to a mechanical problem. A lot of people who take the Tohoku Shinkansen or any bullet train, they usually stock up on beers and, little obento boxes that you can buy at the train station. So all these people who already possibly had their beers and food, gathered, they were actually just delayed on the platform. So the great thing about this story is they made the best of the situation, and they ended up having a large Hanami-style picnic on the platform. I think this is just awesome. It's not so often that you see Japanese people just sitting on the ground. They're very clean and organized. So it's not so often that they just, let loose like this. Not only that though, there was a group of college students a little bit further up the line in Aomori Prefecture at a station called Hachinobe Station. They decided to entertain the crowd a little bit since they were on their way back from their practice and make the best use of their time. So they did some practice backflips and splits and things, and a lot of bystanders were taking videos and enjoying the scene. Yeah, so I think this was a really nice, happy news that showed up, and I was very excited to read about this and share this with you because, we all need a little bit of happiness in our lives. So I think the moral of the story is the next time you are super delayed on a train platform, it just means crack open the beers because that's legal here. Last topic! There's been kind of an interesting little social change that's happened recently. Japan's second largest convenience store chain, Family Mart, not 7-Eleven, Family Mart, has recently made a little change to their farewell greeting. The reason is that there are actually a lot more foreign workers at convenience stores these days. This is a pretty big change from a couple of years ago. I think just even 5 years ago, most of the convenience store workers were actually Japanese. But within the past couple of years, there's been a huge influx of foreign staff at convenience stores all over Japan, particularly Tokyo, which I think is a really cool change because it represents kind of the changing, demographic in Japan. This comes with some social changes in the work environment though as well. There were a lot of foreign staff who apparently had they still have a little bit of difficulty with the Japanese language sometimes. So Family Mart decided to get rid of one of their basically classic or usual farewell greetings, which was "Thank you, please come again." They decided to remove the last part of the greeting, which is "Please come again" or "Mata okoshi kudasaimasu," because I guess a lot of the foreign workers were having trouble remembering this. They would just forget to say it sometimes. So they decided to make it easier for everyone, and now it's just "Thank you, arigatou gozaimashita." Not only that, but they made another very important change to the rules at convenience stores. Japan is pretty notorious for not allowing dyed hair in basically any work setting, and also not at school. So no public schools would ever allow you to dye your hair even brown or blonde or anything. Totally natural hair. It should be black. This has also been an issue before because I've read in some news in the past that even people who now have naturally brown hair, like mixed race people who go to Japanese schools, they've been forced to dye their hair black actually. So that was a really, really solid rule. You should have black hair. Conformity was everything. But now this is a huge, awesome change because in convenience stores they said you're allowed to dye your hair brown or blonde as well. So if you naturally have blonde hair, that's cool. If you want to dye your hair blonde, that's cool too. The one downside is you can't dye your hair something too crazy like pink or blue. That's still a no. Maybe sometime in the future. Japan is changing, so we never know what's gonna happen. Anyway, that's all for our topics for today. I hope you found those interesting. Make sure to tune in again next week and we'll have some more fun topics for you then. Thank you so much. This has been your host, Shizuka Anderson. Have a great week.